Hey guys! Today we'll be covering a 2022 drama film called The Quiet Girl. The movie opens up during the summer of 1981 in a rural village of Ireland, where a 9-year-old girl, Kate, hides inside the bush when her siblings call her name. Kate is one of many siblings living with her destitute and uncaring parents in a small house. Because of the number of children and with no stable source of income, the parents struggle to fulfill their daily needs and to feed them properly. Kate and her siblings don't even get proper lunch for their school. In the next scene, we can see the mother, Laura, pregnant again, while Kate returns home from school holding a letter for her mother. The letter is actually from her distant cousin, Evelyn Kinsella, mentioning that she is willing to help Kate's mother. After reading the letter, Kate's parents decide to send their quiet daughter away to live with Evelyn and her husband, Sean. Following this, Kate is asked to pack her belongings and is immediately taken to Evelyn's house, where she is welcomed right away. Evelyn takes her to the kitchen and asks about her mother and what she's doing lately. In the meantime, Kate's father, John, and Sean enter the kitchen, and the latter prepares to serve the meal. John seems arrogant, and he tells Evelyn that they can keep Kate as long as they want to, and that they can also put her to work. However, Evelyn refuses to make her work and states that they are happy to have Kate with them. While having their meal, John lights a cigarette off the meal plate, annoying everyone. Before he leaves, Evelyn gives him a bunch of lotus flowers for her cousin, but he carelessly throws them in the backseat of his car. He then leaves with Kate's bag of clothes. Evelyn is annoyed by this, and she immediately takes Kate for a bath. She scrubs the girl and cleans her properly. After the bath, she gives Kate some of their old boys' clothes and tells her that she looks pretty in them. Following this, Evelyn shows Kate a well on the property and tells her that the water in it has healing properties. She also cautions Kate to be careful while drawing water from it because the well is deep and she may fall inside. At night, after the girl falls asleep, Evelyn visits her room and states that if she was her child, she would never have left her alone in the house of strangers. The next morning, after having breakfast, Evelyn asks her husband to take Kate and show her around the farm. But Sean says he can't, as he has a lot of very difficult work to do at the moment. After he leaves to work on the farm, Evelyn starts teaching Kate about the household chores, like cutting vegetables, washing clothes, cleaning house, and so on. An obedient Kate doesn't object to anything and does whatever Evelyn asks her to do. Sean, on the other hand, is withdrawn and treats his foster daughter rudely. He doesn't even look at her or bid her goodnight. One day, Evelyn receives an emergency call from her neighbor and heads to help them, leaving Kate with Sean. Hesitantly, Sean takes Kate to the other side of the farm and starts cleaning the stables. Sean essentially ignores Kate, so she feels bored and wanders off. Later, Sean looks around and panics after not finding Kate there. He immediately stops what he is doing and starts searching for her. After a while, he finds her inside a storeroom. Angry, he yells at her and warns her to never wander off again without informing him. The following day, Sean feels like he's been unfair to the girl and makes an attempt to bond with her. Gradually, Kate begins to confide in her foster father, and he teaches her about the animals on the farm. Sean answers her silly questions without hesitation and even sends her running to the postbox to get letters. Later, he asks Evelyn and Kate to get ready to go into town. As Kate has been wearing boys' clothes the entire time, Evelyn wants to buy her some pretty clothes. Moments later, Sean drives them to town, and Evelyn takes Kate to a shop to buy her a couple of dresses. When the family returns home, they meet their neighbor, Sinead, waiting for them at the door. Evelyn and Sean hurriedly approach her, and she tells them that her father is no more. Sean immediately goes with Sinead to assist her in preparing for the funeral, leaving Evelyn and Kate at home. In the next scene, Evelyn asks Kate if she has ever seen a dead person in her life. When the girl replies no, Evelyn tells her that she's going to see one today and tries to ease her fears. Next, they attend the funeral for Sinead's father. When Kate sees the body in the coffin, she becomes frightened and Evelyn calms her, stating that the dead can do no harm. Sitting at the funeral for a long time makes Kate restless. Seeing this, Una, one of Evelyn's family friends and gossipy neighbor, offers to watch her for a few hours while Evelyn and Sean comfort the family members. Evelyn hesitates at first, but later accepts the proposal. Following this, while taking Kate to her home, Una tries to ask her some personal questions about Evelyn and Sean's life. Furthermore, as they walk together, Una also tells Kate that the Kinsellas had a child who drowned in the family slurry pit some time before Kate arrived. This leaves Kate shocked and speechless, and she starts to get upset. Fortunately, as soon as they reach Una's house, Sean arrives at the door to pick up Kate. He expresses his gratitude to Una for looking after his girl, and then asks Kate to sit inside the car. Later, when the Kinsellas notice Kate's reserved demeanor, Evelyn asks her what she and the neighbor discussed. At first, Kate doesn't say anything, but when Evelyn insists, Kate reveals that she was told about their lost child. The Kinsellas are devastated, but they don't deny Una's words. Later, after reaching home, Sean asks Kate to put on a coat and takes her to the beach nearby. He sits alongside her and tells her that Evelyn is the friendliest person in the world, and she is always happy to help others. However, rather than getting appreciation for what she does, she always gets backlash. Following this, while returning home, Kate notices 3 ships returning to shore and becomes happy. The next day, Sean takes Kate to milk the cows, feed the calves, and also engage her in various other activities. As the days pass by, the little girl can be seen enjoying being around her new parents. However, one day, Kate runs to the mailbox and returns with a letter from her mother. Sean reads the letter and informs Kate that her mother has given birth to a baby boy of 8 pounds and 6 ounces. With her pregnancy now over, Laura has asked Evelyn to send Kate back home, as it is time for the new school year to begin. While Kate, Evelyn, and Sean all mutely lament their separation, the couple are obligated to bring Kate back to her family. One can clearly see in the little girl's face that she doesn't want to return to her destitute family and ignorant parents, or leave behind the love she is getting from Evelyn and Sean. Surprisingly, Sean has also become very fond of Kate, and he goes straight to her room and stares through her window. The following day, as the Kinsellas prepare to bring Kate home, all of them look gloomy and pick at their breakfasts. In the meantime, one of Sean's neighbors arrives at their door asking for help to pull their calf, which is stuck in something. Sean immediately leaves with his neighbor, asking Evelyn to complete the farm chores. After Sean leaves, Evelyn heads off to do the chores, but not before asking Kate to take care of herself while she is away. During this time, Kate realizes that she needs to help Evelyn and goes to fetch some water from the well. So while Evelyn is performing the farm chores, Kate heads towards the well alone. Unfortunately, while filling the bucket with water, Kate gets pulled inside the well. After a while, Evelyn returns, but when she does not find the little girl around, she starts panicking. Fortunately, after a bit of searching around, she eventually finds a soaking wet and upset Kate returning from the well. Seeing this, she rushes towards her and comforts her. Unfortunately, the incident leads to Kate catching a cold, and she starts sneezing. With this, Sean suggests they keep Kate for a couple of days and return her home when she is completely fine, but Evelyn refuses to do so. The next morning, the couple drive Kate back to her house. Despite being away for over a month, Laura shows no excitement at seeing her daughter and simply welcomes Evelyn and Sean to their filthy house. As she prepares tea for them, Laura informs them that Kate's father hasn't returned home for a couple of days. Evelyn and Sean address the other girls living there and offer to help. Adding to the chaos, the newborn baby cries, and Laura immediately rushes to feed him. Moments later, Kate's father also arrives home and instantly scolds Kate for sneezing. He even berates the Kinsellas for not taking proper care of their daughter. Evelyn and Sean are expectedly enraged, but they do not say a word. After returning all of Kate's belongings, they say their goodbyes. Before departing, they tell the family that they are always happy to have Kate and that she can come stay whenever she wants. Kate watches Evelyn and Sean drive off with teary eyes and suddenly starts sprinting after the car. After running for a while, she eventually manages to catch up with them. Sean notices her running, and as soon as Kate approaches him, he hugs her tightly. Evelyn tears up in the back seat as the foster father and daughter hurry to embrace one another. When Kate peeks over Sean's shoulder, she sees her father irately approaching them. She calls out "Daddy" to make Sean aware of his approaching presence. The movie ends with Kate pausing for a moment and repeating the word "Daddy," acknowledging that she sees Sean as her real father figure.